You're on the couch, man. I'm about to just start making these videos with the picture in the background, man. Like, subscribe, man. Like, subscribe. Got a lot to talk about, man. I think I'm gonna get to a point now. I'm about to turn the videos up. I think I might turn the videos up, bro. Just these type of videos. Release these jokes like crazy, but you know, what we're gonna talk about today. You know, I think Trump's a psyop, man. I think he a psyop. It's a Trojan horse, man. I've been telling y'all this for a minute. You know, the knowledge is cool. We just shooting the shit, man. We just shooting the shit. Boy, and to me, it's so crazy because now I'm seeing the world for what it is. I mean, I kind of been seeing the world for what it is. You got to read your word. You got to praise the Most High, Yahushua and Yahuwah. And you got to realize, man, they tricked everybody, bro. They tricked everybody. And if you said something about it, they made you look like a fool and tried to say that you was crazy. Just back to COVID, you know what I mean? Just the first, just rigging the elections and voting. And people think that you can vote to change something. I've been trying to tell people voting was a psyop. You know, voting is a pyramid scheme. You know, been telling people that. And it's not to say I know everything, but just discussion, man. You know, now that we see our politicians is working for Israel, you know, Trump's working for Israel. These guys are obviously bought. These guys are obviously not working for America anymore. And it's not just one or two, it's all of them. They want us to forget about the Epstein list. They want us to forget about all that. And they want us to just sit here and take it doggy style, you know what I'm saying? Your vote don't matter. I've been telling y'all that you can't vote your way out of this. This is a controlled demolition. This is a country against its people. This is a compromised country. And now you gotta look at what you're gonna do. They give people bread and circus, and the people just go along with it. So I'm about to start making more of these videos. But yeah, you know, Trump's a psyop, man. Y'all hate Trump. Y'all blame Trump. Y'all blame the boomers. But it's a deeper power. We battle not flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities. And I feel like people try to discredit the scriptures. They try to discredit the word, but it's just the truth, man. It's not a religious book. It's not a Christian book, right? It's nothing to do with Judaism. It's nothing to do with Islam. It's a book on its own written by the Creator and by the prophets and the apostles. So with that being said, you got to understand this is deeper than Rothschild and central banking and Jews and Israel. It's deeper than that. And this is really a battle of spirits and principalities. And I feel like, you know, I made the video about it's not the time to be an atheist. It's not the time to be agnostic. You got to get into your word, follow the commands, and worship in truth and spirit, you know. I've been telling y'all we're not worshiping the Lord. We're not worshiping God. We're worshiping the Hebrew names, Yahusha and Yahuwah, Elohim. The Hebrew spelling, the Hebrew names, you know. The name is power in the name, so that's what when I say we, I mean me, and not to take all the credit, we gotta give credit to the Most High, but that right there is what it's about. So once you see that this country is falling apart, and you see that this country is collapsing, you see the hyperinflation, you see the corruption, you see the BS going on, you see the fraud, remember when they tried to vote for Virginia with the gerrymandering, and they won the vote, but the vote was never upheld because I think the Supreme Court shut it down. And see, what you got to realize is that should have showed you your vote didn't matter. You know, you got to stop going against each other. You got to stop blaming the Democrats and the Republicans. It's deeper than that. If you're blaming it on Democrats and Republicans now, you're stupid. Sorry, you're sleep. It's bigger than Democrats and Republicans. They're two wings of the same bird. They're both in bed together. So pretty much it's not about the left or the right. They're both in it. They're both together. They're partnering up. So it's not about that. It's about you figuring out what you're trying to do and what you need to do, because clock's ticking. Y'all blaming Trump. Is not Trump, bro. He's just somebody who is being used by a system. It's not him, bro. I feel like he's doing one of the biggest humiliation rituals, though. You know, this is like one of the biggest ones where you have to bring down one of the most powerful countries of all time. Like you're aiding in the destruction of one of one of the world's superpowers, and that's tough, man. So now we're seeing things is different. We're seeing a housing collapse, employment issues. You know, they're saying the job market sucks, hyperinflation, the dollar lost its value, senseless war with Iran. They're showing that Netanyahu's over here. Who was that? Marco Rubio. I forget the other guy who was over there. And, you know, Netanyahu's over there giving them instructions like he's the president. At the war with Iran, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. So it's just a lot going on, a lot of bad going on. The energy's off. COVID was about 5 years ago, but the aftermath is still here. People are losing their minds. They can't drive. They don't know how to have awareness in the grocery stores. They're walking 5 to an aisle, and they're walking horizontally, so they're blocking up the whole aisle. They're standing at the doors. I mean, they're moving all erratically. Like, it's just a lot going on, man. And we're going to make more videos. We're going to kind of talk about everything I'm talking about now. But, yeah, Trump, y'all blaming Trump, bro. It's bigger than Trump. He got to do what he's told, bro. Y'all are finally seeing that the conspiracy theorists have been right. But it's like, dang, humanity taking the L. We got these surveillance centers. They got the food shortages they talking about. Or they putting stuff in the food. You can't eat lettuce. You know, it's a lot going on. They got to hit you with everything. And if you're not spiritually strong, if you're not spiritually aware, you're not going to really know what to do, because you're not going to really know who to turn to. And if you got money, you won't always be able to turn to yourself. You know, nobody really talking about this, man. I'm kind of talking about some real shit right now. And if I would have had the video on, I'd have been dropping my little gems. You see my gems I throw around. Y'all remember that? But I'm one of the realest channels out here. That's why you need to watch my channel, because nobody's really giving you what I'm giving you. The red pill guys is grifting you, right? The red pillars is grifting y'all. I give y'all good advice on relationships and men and women. So you gotta understand, they doing it for the bread. I'm doing it for the love. So the red pill guys is grifting you. Them Andrew Tate niggas is grifting you. Them Fresh and Fit niggas grifted you. I feel like maybe Alpha Male Strategies might have grifted y'all. He got some good pointers, but he be kind of grifting too. So it's just, you know, a lot of people grifting. Dr. Umar grifting y'all on the political side. Jay Morris, he grifted y'all with Tulsa real estate. You know what I'm saying? People grifting y'all, the self-help grifters, you know, the Grant Cardones. Everybody's grifting you, the relationship grifters, even the spiritual, biblical grifters. I've been kind of helping y'all with the spiritual gems, giving y'all spiritual gems, telling y'all not to read Maccabees. That's a Hasmonean book. Been telling y'all not to read Esther. That's a Persian book, but Esther's not in any of the history. Told y'all not to read Jasher. That's a fake Jubilees. You know, it says Jasher in the book of Samuel, and it's written in the book of Jasher. But as you'll see, when you go to that book and chapter in Jasher, it's talking about a bow that's not even on the same as the bow that's mentioned in Samuel. You know, they got David talking about different bows. So as you can see, Jasher is just a bunch of fluff. So it's like I'm over here. I'm not the smartest nigga in the world. I'm not the best nigga in the world. I'm just saying, like, a lot of these Bible scholar expert niggas is telling y'all to read Maccabees and Esther and Jasher. And I'm over here like, nah, man. Shout out to the God culture. You know, they on that. They know about that. I don't really see too many other people talk about that, though. And then Truth Unedited tell y'all to read from Maccabees and Jasher and Esther. So, you know, we got to really get smart with this. I was telling the dudes how to get girls and what to say and how to do it. I was telling women, watch out for these dudes. You feel what I'm saying? I've been on that, trying to help people, like giving people gems about scripture, like showing y'all about Christianity and syncretism and paganism and stuff like that. Been doing that, telling y'all go read Enoch, go read Jubilees. You know, Jubilees is Torah. You want to read Torah, you want to know Torah, read Torah. Been telling y'all these things, man. Nobody else is telling y'all all these things at once, bro. They grifting y'all. And then with the red pill dudes, once they dry that lane out, then they try to go ahead and start teaching the Bible. Like, bro, they heart not in it, bro. They not doing the research. They so concerned with other things, bro. You know what I'm saying? I care. So, like, I'm saying all this to say Trump is a psyop. It was a play because somebody had to do it, and he did it. It might be crazy if this is the biggest humiliation ritual that anybody's ever had to do, you know, because that's a crazy job he got to do. And so then the blackmail, and then the Epstein, it's a lot going on. Now they got Fauci. He talking about he pleading the fifth. They say, sir, did you eat breakfast today? Oh, I plead the fifth. And Fauci with COVID, they finally going to admit that COVID was developed in the Wuhan lab under gain of functional research. We've been watching Rand Paul cook Fauci. Rand Paul been cooking Fauci for like the past 5 years, bro. So this is nothing new. Bro.